Now,
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Crosstalk Podcast. This is Eatonton First United Methodist Church's podcast, and we put this all together on a dream and a vision that Brian Beveridge had for a podcast, and then COVID happened, and here we are. So post-COVID, hopefully post-COVID to some degree, we're here, and we're podcasting weekly. And so if you're in Eatonton or Putnam County, we are so glad you're a part of this podcast. We hope you'll come worship with us on Sunday mornings at 8:45 or 11 on Sunday mornings, and we're going to talk about joy. It is the season of Advent, which is the 4 weeks that some people say is Christmas season in America, but it's also Advent, and Advent is a time of preparation. So there's four of us here today. Myself, Brian Beveridge, and Joe DeLoach, who is lighting the candles of hope, peace, and now the pink candle, joy. And by the way, Brandon Tercey's here. Soon to be a father, Brandon Tercey. Well, soon to be a father again, Brandon Tercey. So we're just happy to have you. We're going to talk about joy. So we've been talking about heavy stuff just before we got online. So we're going to switch gears and talk about joy. Or as Ren and Stimpy would tell us, happy, happy, joy, joy. So, happy, happy, joy, joy. I don't know if you ever liked that. Did you ever see that? Ren and Stimpy?
I grew up in the 90s, so yeah.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy. If you're too young for that, sorry. If you're too old for that, sorry. But a lot of us watched Ren and Stimpy on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. And
they still come on Cartoon Network.
Ren and Stimpy. It was the Ren and Stimpy show. I know it's ridiculous. Mindless entertainment for mindless people.
No, that's like Pinky in the Brain.
I've never seen Pinky in the Brain. So Merriam-Webster defines joy, and it's always good to start with a good definition. Son of a teacher always goes to the dictionary. Joy is a feeling or state of well-being, contentment. And that's all it gives us. Oh no, a source of great satisfaction. And then it gives us a few acronyms: to feel or express joy or triumph. So what is joy? What's making you feel joy in your life?
For me, it's knowing that I'm going to be a dad again with my wife, and we have a house over our head. We have an amazing church that we come to. I have amazing friends and family here. And to me, that is joy. I'm very content with my life. I'm happy where I'm at right now. I am in a good place.
Oh, you're going to school.
I'm going to school. I'm going to school for fun, yeah. I'm going to Athens College of Ministry to get my BA in Biblical Studies. And this brings me joy. I am happy to be doing what I am. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to be helping people during the holidays. I'm happy to be a member of this church, and this brings me joy. I'm happy.
Awesome. What about y'all? I see cookies over there on your shirt. The cookies bring you joy?
Oh, no, this one's got a broke arm and a broke leg. And it says, oh, snap. But there's a lot of things that bring me joy.
Your beard brings me joy. Great joy right now.
The golden beard. It's going to lighten up the day a little more.
It's the Donald Trump beard. If Donald Trump had a beard, it would be that color.
Oh, yeah.
Orange man.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, there's a lot of things that bring me joy. Like, I did a service. Well, I preached for Ed Baker on Sunday, and my sermon was on joy. And just being able to talk to the people after the service made me happy because, them understanding that, Ed is a great pastor, but just to see the joy he brings them brought me joy. I know that sounds like a unique thing, but...
Over at Concord or in Union Chapel?
Union
Both
Chapel.
of them.
Because there's 8 people that come regular.
Yeah.
But they're dedicated and they have the happiness and the joy to come to the church.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Joy is my is my family. I would say that there's a difference between joy and happy. Joy to me is a deep contentment, a feeling of well-being. This past Sunday, all 3 of my children showed up, of course, for Sunday dinner. And I told David it was really neat to walk in the back door after I taught Sunday school, and I could hear the noise my three children, whenever they're together, there's always noise.
Was that the baby? Was that your grandbaby?
Oh yeah, and he behaved so good. I was so proud of him because we had anticipated having to take him outside, but my family is my sense of joy. And I agree with Brandon. I am so, especially with the terrible tornado that just ripped through. I look at the shots on the TV and I think, here I am complaining because we haven't decorated a Christmas tree, and these people don't even have a house to sleep in tonight. And I think how fortunate, how much I have to be thankful for. And I agree with Brandon. I kind of like where I am in my life. I mean, it's
Saturday is your 50th wedding anniversary.
Saturday. I've been married 50 years.
That's
and
amazing.
I look back over the last, and of those 50 years, 30 was spent in this church. The last 20 were spent wandering. All I needed was a camel, and I'd have been right in there. But
I think we all spend time wandering in our lives.
well, and he led me back here. Joy comes from having a place. I'm really big on. In the South, we talk about living on a home place. Where place do you live? We live on the old Jenkins place. My children know that, and we say in our family, all of our life's journeys start and stop at our home, and that's true. When my time is up, God calls me home. Either my body or my ashes will be in the house the last day that I'm on, and then it will be taken. It's of joy. The fact that I have been so fortunate to have had so many wonderful people in my life. 50 years of teaching school, it is so neat to run into some of these people that I thought if I could just get you out of school, and now they're quite successful. God works in strange and mysterious ways. And to know that this church has survived, and we're still surviving. We've just got to figure out ways to do it. So to me, that's what I'm joyful about. And I love Christmas too, because as we unwrap all of our 10 million trillion Christmas ornaments, it's like Christmas came in our house and threw up everywhere. But as we unwrap it, we revisit the people. A lot of these things people have given us. It's you reconnect with them. Some of them have moved on to the other side of the river, as the old folks would say. But it's like you remember. And I think that memories we make, and it's joyful to make more memories.
I find it interesting you said that you have a joy, that you find joy, you kind of implied in surviving. We've survived, and we will continue
We
to
will
survive.
continue, that's
Surviving, I guess, joy. Surviving brings joy, I guess. That sounds like my roots are are Confederate in my 150, 170 years back, and I think that was the most Southern thing anybody. I'm happy to have survived.
That's
you know?
right. Well, you think about it. We're in a time of our country of turmoil. I don't think anybody would deny that.
At least,
whatever side
yeah.
of the fence, political or your own, things are in upheaval. And I think back, because I live in the house that was there when my ancestors' world changed.
Yes.
In a course of 5 years, you went from having well-to-do, well-established, future bright, to all of a sudden, there's nothing, So, and they survived. They learned to buckle down, and
Yeah.
it just takes hard work and faith.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
At our house, we're very fortunate to have however many greats. His Bible is still right there. And I have my great aunt's Bible, and it is literally falling apart where they used it so much. That's joy. Now, these are not pious, saintly people. They drank and cussed and did everything. Nobody made it in jail that I know of, but that's sense of joy, a sense of contentment that I'm where I need to be. Of course, my contentment started 50 years ago when God told me that I needed to teach school. And I run into so many people that don't have their life's work is a job. It's not their career. It's
Yeah.
like, I feel sorry for them.
Hey, I was an engineer for 3 years, and I was a mediocre at best engineer, but I was not happy. And then it didn't bring fulfillment and joy to my life. And so I couldn't, though I was kind of blindfolded, walking into walls, trying to figure out where I was supposed to be going, even though I had actually received a call at 17 years of age. Once I became, I mean, I wasn't even making, it wasn't like it was a vocation for me, but once I just started going back to church and just started helping volunteer, it was like the joy of the Lord just sort of rushed into me. I can't explain it.
It's a feeling.
And there's problems in the church. I'm not saying that. It's just like, it wasn't like I was going away, avoiding
That's
issues.
right.
It was just like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Well, the biggest thing with ministry is it's not the politics that get us. The joy we get is actually being able to plant that seed of God in people that are broken, lost,
Yeah.
and it's like, part of my devotion for our mentor class was, Jesus sat down with the sinners and the tax collectors because he said the sick are the ones that need a physician, not the well. Mm-hmm. We are like the extension of Jesus going out and helping heal the sick and broken and lost.
When I was in construction management, I think the thing that sucked the joy out of me most was that I knew that in order for us, I was working for a major construction company, and it wasn't the only one that did this, but just to make a buck, just to get ahead, I had to step on other people. And I knew that that's how the game was set up. And that's really how the world is set up. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's true.
that's how most things are set up.
it's
nowadays.
not just like the gangster. It's not. It's ordered and corporate. It's to some degree legalized, and it was such a drain on me to know that at the end of the day, the only way I was going to keep my job was to profit, and the biggest way to profit was to make sure other people didn't get any further than we allowed them to.
Right, it gets cutthroat.
And that's just life. I understand that's life, but in the church, it happens in the church too. I'm not trying to say it doesn't happen in the church, but at least I was given license to try not to do that.
Right.
Like that sounds terrible, but like teaching, I think teaching would be a very rewarding job because yes, it's the politics is there, and yes, people are mean, and there's lots of there's brokenness walking in the door. But if you really care about a person or a student, teach them. Give them an opportunity to step out from that.
Joy in teaching comes when 50 years after you have taught this person, you run into them and they remember things that you said that you never, that you don't remember. It's like, and God is the same way. He expects us to plant His love in people around us. And then they take it and plant it in someone else. And it just